Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Dear devotees, Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote this poem, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Vrindavan forests are filled with transcendental kunjas. These kunjas, they are kind of natural, transcendental abode or the residence or house or you can say the meeting place of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. In the kunja, some kunja they will have jhula where they will swing, in some kunja where they will sringar to each other, in some kunja they will meet with other friends and converse in a very sweet way, and there is always intoxicating atmosphere around the kunja, gentle breeze and fragrant flowers and intoxicating nature of the kunja in the form of new twigs, green environment and so forth. And kunjas are naturally cool. It's AC, natural AC. It's a transcendental air conditioning, not this mode of ignorance air conditioning that you use within our house. Kunjas are naturally transcendental air conditioned place. So, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallava Girivaradari, Gopi Jana Vallava. So, gopis, they always wanted to see Krishna all the time, whether it is elderly gopis who are like mothers to Krishna, or younger gopis who are like who are his girlfriends. And even other gopis are there who are in different other rasas. So, his gopis had all 5 rasas within them. So, predominant rasa, some had parental, some had Sringara or Madhurya rasa, and then others also had Sakhya rasa and so many rasas. It's not that all the gopis had only Madhurya rasa. No, there are mothers, there are Madhurya rasa, all rasas were there in gopis. So these gopis, they were missing Krishna very much, and Krishna made arrangement for them to reciprocate with Krishna, to relish Krishna's beauty, to seek out his charming smile as Krishna lifted Govardhan hill for 7 days, and 7 days non-stop. There was feast for eyes for the gopis, the feast for ears for gopis. In so many ways, they heard Krishna, they saw Krishna, and that's a very, very wonderful way Krishna reciprocates with the devotees. Yashoda Nandana Brajadana Ranjana. So this Krishna, who is popularly addressed as Yashoda Sutta, Yashoda Nandana, Nanda Nandana, is constantly giving pleasure to Brajvasis, those who are transcendental dwellers in Braj. Jamuna Tira Banachari. The Golok of Vrindavan is decorated with the transcendental flow of Yamuna, and Krishna's one of the favorite pastime is to move along the banks of Yamuna along with his cowherd friends Balaram and cows. So this is his favorite pastime. In 1996, I had organized a big program in Bhiwani. Bhiwani, you people might not be knowing, Bhiwani is a city in Haryana. And we had one Yadav, he is initiated by Radha Govind Maharaj. He's there in Pilani, and so he became a devotee, and I engaged him to do some preaching. So he's from Bhiwani, and he organized a very beautiful program there. I invited the Vrindavan temple president that time, Mahaman Prabhu, and many Sarvam Bhattacharya came, and so Sarvam Prabhu and Mahaman Prabhu, particularly Sarvam Prabhu, made, there must be 200 people sitting there, and he made them to dance. It's amazing. For the first time I saw how people preach actually. For me, preaching means you make everybody sit down and just chant Hare Krishna, speak some philosophy. But this will not work in general public. And I didn't know all these things. I knew that I cannot preach here. So I called them, and then I remember that time So Mahaman Prabhu, he started with this Kirtan, Jai Radha Madhav Kunja Bihari. And as he started with this Kirtan, after he finished the Kirtan, he said that we have now brought Vrindavan here. So I really appreciated that, because this Kirtan, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopijana Vallava, Girivaradhari, Yashoda Nandana, Brajajana Ranjana, Jamuna Tira Banachari. This is exactly Vrindavan. If we meditatively sing it, in our consciousness, if we conceive the transcendental Vrindavan, and Vrindavan will descend within our consciousness, and then there is Vrindavan. So as I was singing today, I was remembering this Bhivani preaching. You see, it happened long back, 96, almost 24 years ago, but it's still crystal clear. I remember Yadav's sister was dancing like, madman, all as if, her head will touch the tent. So it's amazing how preaching is so wonderful. So wonderful, going out and speaking about Krishna to people. But that day actually I appreciated Sarvabhauma Prabhu, that he was really expert making people to dance to the tune of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So I don't know where he is now. For a long time I have not seen him. Yeah. No, he doesn't go to Pakistan anymore. He has around 10 sons, you know that? He has very big family. He has very big family. So, anyway, so you see that how you can remember, wonderful things you can remember. If you have involved yourself in preaching, this preaching will come deep into your memory again and again. And that is how you will remain Krishna conscious. I'll never forget Kharusa experience that we had in the cold winter going there, and there was nobody is here. You are not there in Kharusa. Nobody, none of you there in Kharusa. Kharusa, Pavan must be there. Pavan, you are there in Kharusa?
Hare Krishna, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
So, do you remember that preaching program?
Yes, sir.
What is your experience, impression? Tell me.
So, this was like very unique experience. We were there, and then we even preparing Prashadam there was such a nice experience. And then we went out and did some Kirtan program, and staying in that place, and then waking up early morning for Mangala Aarti. So everything's very nice experience.
It was so cold, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It was very cold. There was no way also people can have some blanket. We are not even ready. So all preaching program, we had many, in the beginning, this Odia people, they used to do Rath Yatra. In 2001, 2002, 2002, 2003, 2004. We are the people who would go and do Kirtan there in front of the Ratha Cat. So, yeah, this conducting preaching program, we should do always. I don't know what has happened. We are living like dead fellows and we are not preaching. So this is a very bad thing. Okay, so let us start. Thank you very much for joining this Bhagavatam program. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudiraye
Dojayamudiraye.
Nasta Prayesu Avatresu
Prayesu Avatresu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike.
Bhakti.
Bring my mobile. So, dear devotees, today we will cover 3 verses, 30th, 31st and 32nd verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnation, text 30. Etadurupam bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato.
Etadurupam bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato.
Yarupasya chidatmanaha
Sadhuvasya Chidatmana.
Maya gunair virachitam
Ayamne Viracham.
Mahadadi viratmani
Mahadani Viratmani.
Etadurupam bhagavato
Etadrupam Bhagavato.
Yarupasya chidatmanaha
Sadhuvasya Chidatmana.
Maya gunair virachitam
Ayamne Viracham.
Mahadadi viratmani.
Mahadani Viratmani.
The conception of Virata, universal form of the Lord, as appearing in the material world is imaginary. It is to enable the less intelligent and neophytes to adjust to the idea of Lord's having form. But factually, Lord has no material form. So, dear devotees, everybody gets fascinated by Virata form of Krishna. But this verse is saying Virata form is not transcendental in the sense Virata form talks about demigod planets are his arm, Brahma's planet is his head, the Patala planets are like his legs, So like that, the description is there. And Krishna is transcendental. Krishna is all pure. And in all these Virata feature, we saw Arjuna is seeing that unlimited living entities are entering into the devouring mouth of that Virata form. So that's not transcendental, because in transcendence there is no death. There is no devouring of time. Time is very, very soothing, pleasant and intoxicating, because time is the love there. Time is pure love for Krishna. So time is not devouring. In material world, time is devouring principle because it is lust. It is lust here. So time manifests as a devouring principle, and there it is pure love. So it appears as a catalyst. So let us read the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The conception of Lord known as Vishwarupa or Virata Rupa is particularly not mentioned along with the various incarnations of the Lord, because all the incarnations of the Lord mentioned above are transcendental and there is not a tinge of materialism in their bodies. There is no difference between body and self as there is in the conditioned soul. The Virata Rupa is conceived for those who are just neophyte worshippers. For them, material Virata Rupa is presented and it will be explained in second canto. In the Virata Rupa, the material manifestation of different planets have been conceived, that is legs, hands, etc. Actually, all such descriptions are for neophytes. The neophytes cannot conceive of anything beyond matter. Material conception of Lord is not counted in the list of factual form. As Paramatma or Super Soul, the Lord is within each and every material form, even within the atoms. But the outward material form is but an imagination, but both for the Lord and for the living being. The present form of conditioned souls are also not factual. The conclusion is that the material conception of body of Lord as Virat is imaginary. Both the Lord and living beings or living spirit have original spiritual bodies. Hare Krishna. So, the Virata form of Krishna the way it is presented to us is for less intelligent people, because we cannot conceive something beyond time and matter. We have not received the sufficient grace of Guru and Krishna. And because of that, what is transcendence? Okay. How do we transcend the concept of devouring time and concept of limited, dull space? Because here space is filled with ignorance. If you withdraw yourself within your material realm, then darkness only will shroud your thought. There is nothing but darkness. Because that's what is material space. And transcendental space we have never experienced, although we are soul, but that soul is sleeping for a long, long time. Its dormant form in many of us are like stone-like. And hence, it is very tough to conceive the idea of transcendence beyond space and time. So that is why the Virata form attracts majority, and there is no problem, because finally Krishna Mayo Jagat, Krishna is everywhere. So by meditating on Virata form, we are meditating Krishna, because without Krishna nothing would be there. If your dream is able to invoke Krishna consciousness, then that dream is real. If your physical body is able to meditate on Krishna, then that is real. And whether gross body is subtle body or Karana body is causal sarira, causal body. So these are all, when connected to Krishna, they have real existence. That is why we consider spiritual master's body is all spiritual. Because a spiritual master engages his body, mind, everything in the service to Krishna. Manasa deha geha jo kichu mor manasa arpilo tu apade Nanda Kishore. Sampade vipade jivane marane.
Sampade vipade jivane marane.
Dai mama gela tua e padavarane.
Dai mama gela tua e padavarane.
Kita janma hau yatha tuada. Bahirmukha Brahma janme nahi mor asa.
Bahirmukha Brahma janme nahi mor asa.
Janaka jananida itatanaya. Prabhu Guru Patito Sarvamaya. Bhakati binada kahe suna kana.
Bhakati vinoda kahe suno kana.
Radha Nath tu hamar prana. So everything exists only when Krishna exists. So if you say Krishna doesn't exist, that means your existence is completely illusory. So you want to make your existence illusory? So wait. But we don't want. We want our existence to be real. And for that, we take shelter of acharyas. And here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying. Manasa deho geho jo kichu more. Arpilu tua pade o Nanda Kishore. O Krishna, Manasa my mind, Deha my body, Geha my activities, everything I surrender unto your lotus feet. Sampade vipade jivana marane. Whether life or death situation, whether it is a situation of opulence or situation of penury, simply by embracing your lotus feet, all my tension and anxiety has been finished. Kita janma hau yatha tuadas. I am your servant and I accept a birth of a worm as long as in that very body I can serve you. But I do not want the position of Brahma who is averse to your lotus feet. Who may be averse to your lotus feet, because our current Brahma is a pure devotee of Krishna. And he says, Bhukti Mukti Spruha Vihina Je Bhakta. Bhukti, a devotee who is not interested in material enjoyment. Bhukti Mukti, a devotee who is not interested in any kind of liberation. Bhukti Mukti Spruha, and those devotees who have lot of desires. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I do not want association of such devotees. I want association of devotees who are freed from bhukti, mukti and spruha. Bhukti, mukti, spruha, vihina je bhakta. Labhaite tako sanga anuratta. I would like to associate with such devotees. Janaka, Janani, Daita, Tanaya, you are my father, you are my mother, you are my daughter, you are my son. Prabhu, Guru, you are my master, you are my teacher. Sarvamai, you are everything. If I want to have any relationship, that is you, O Krishna. Bhakati Vinoda Kahe Suno Kanha, O Krishna, O Yashodanandan, O Nandanandan. Please listen to me. Radha Nath, you, the most dear to Srimati Radharani, is my heart and soul. My life, more than my life. Yesterday we talked in the evening, what does it mean to consider someone more than our life? I gave the example yesterday how Prabhupada's dear disciples, they considered Prabhupada more than their life, and they gave so much to Prabhupada. Prabhupada was very happy, very pleased, and it is guaranteed Prabhupada took all of them back to Godhead. Whoever he is, doesn't matter, because they accepted Prabhupada everything in their life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I will take a 2 minutes gap. Present persons say the sky is cloudy, the air is dirty. Similarly, they also implant material bodily conception on the spirit self. So how well you may try to explain what is spirit, those who are hearing, they are so much soaked into gross materialism, they will try to conceive it using their sensory ideas, sensory conception. This is the dilemma. Even if we bring, the spiritual master brings in the pure message of Krishna from Golaka, but when we hear, we pollute that message with our concoction, with our pollution, with our avadrani, dirt within our heart. And hence, it is not possible for us to hear the message as it is. But as long as we are sincere, we are interested to experience the spiritual bliss, spiritual beauty, aesthetics, then we have to wait patiently, because we must allow the dirts within us to be burnt. Just like we do not conceive what is infinity. I had explained how 10 to the power 18 confused the king, who thought this Brahman is begging only very little. He is such a stupid idiot. But 10 to the power 18 turned out to be so much, the king could not even fill the joli of that Pandit. So 10 to the power 18 is so big number. Now 10 to the power 99, you cannot even conceive that. If 10 to the power 18 cannot be conceived, it turned out to be 92 billion metric ton of rice. What to speak of 10 to the power 99, which is also a finite quantity. If 10 to the power 99 cannot be conceived by any one of us, including the physicist, What to speak of 10 to the power 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. 9999999999999. So if I have to tell you, please conceive this number, then my dear friends, you will have a heart attack. Because this number is just beyond any kind of conception that we may have probably. But that's a finite quantity. That's a finite quantity. So what is infinity? We cannot conceive what is infinity. Similarly, we cannot conceive what is zero. Suppose you have 1 paisa, then people will say that you are a big banga, you have nothing, but still you have 1 paisa. Now somebody says, I have 1/10 of a paisa, still he has 1/10. He is not zero. So now if somebody says, I have 10 to the power minus 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Hey Baba, that is so negligible, but that is still not zero. So nobody can say, I have zero. Zero is a conception that nobody can have. You cannot experience zero because before you can experience zero, you need to experience even 10 to the power minus 50, 10 to the power minus 100, 10 to the power minus 1000. And a pure devotee should always reside in pure zero. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. Rishikesa rishikena sevanam bhakti ruchyate. So we see in this world, everybody is fighting for a upadhi. They get a gender. Oh, I'm a man. What nonsense, man. Then you come with a gender woman. Oh, I'm woman. And this is what is happening. You are given a upadhi and you dance with that upadhi. I'm engineer. I'm doctor. I'm teacher. So just like here, Prabhupada says that we are habituated to identify ourselves with a upadhi. Here is president's car. People have not seen the president, but looking at the car, they say, yes. I remember when I was studying in Ramanaguda, in Koraput, this is in Raigada, Gunpur district, Ramanaguda. I think Raigada from Ramanaguda is around 30-40 kilometers and Gunpur would be 30 kilometers. So in the midway between Gunpur and Raigada. So when I was studying that time, Giridhar Gomang, he used to come with a red car. And those days in Ramanaguda, you won't find people having a car. So when we see the red car, without seeing Giridhar Gomang, we say, oh, here is Giridhar Gomang. Here is Giridhar Gomang. Okay? So this is how the laymen, less intelligent people, they identify. Because their concepts are very gross, exceptionally gross. They can never enter into subtlety of a soul, subtlety of Krishna. It is very, very tough. So just like we never conceive what is sky, what is space. But we are very eager to say, sky is blue. Oh, I like sky blue color. I like sky blue color. But nobody has an idea what is sky, what is air. Nobody understands. Forget the normal people to explain. I am saying so-called big scientist occupying a big position in MIT, Harvard, cannot explain what is sky. They cannot explain what is sky. So what to speak of? Very rudimentary people like us. So now we go to the next verse. This is I would say this is the summary of this section, that these 3 verses, because this is very important. Very important. Ataha param yad abhyaktam abhyudha guna brahmitam adrusta sruta vastutvat sajivo yat punarbhava. Beyond this gross conception of form is another subtle conception of form which is without formal shape and is unseen, unheard and unmanifest. The living being has his form beyond this subtlety. Otherwise, he could not have repeated births. Somebody should read the purport. You are reading? Where is? I don't see the participants. I don't know what these people they do. They always. I don't know why do they do like this. Get the. It's taking. Okay. So, who will read? Krishna Priya Mataji, please read.
I will read, sir.
Yeah, please read.
From where exactly?
As the gross cosmic manifestation.
It is, 1 second, let me just...
It is there in the screen. You
as
can.
the gross cosmic, from there?
Yeah.
As the gross cosmic manifestation is conceived as the gigantic body of the Lord, so also there is, it is again hiding there is the conception of his subtle form, which is simply realized without being seen, heard or manifested. But in fact, all these gross or subtle conceptions of the body are in relation with the living being. The living being has a spiritual form beyond this gross, material or subtle physical existence. The gross body and physical functions cease to act as soon as the living being leaves the visible gross body. In fact, we say that the living being has gone away because he is unseen and unheard. Even when the gross body is not acting, when the living being is in sound sleep, we know that he is within the body by his breathing. So, the living being passing away from the body does not mean that there is no existence of the living soul. It is there, otherwise, how can he repeat his birth again and again? I have to 1 second. Yeah. The conclusion is that the Lord is eternally existing in his transcendental form, which is neither gross nor subtle like that of the living being. His body is never to be compared to the gross and subtle bodies of the living being. All such consumptions of God's body are imaginary. The living being has his eternal spiritual form, which is conditioned only by his material contamination.
Thank you. Thank you, Krishna Priya Mataji, for reading very nicely.
I am Nalini here in the name of Murti.
Ah,
I am Nalini in the name of Murti because today I am using my laptop.
Murti Mataji from Chennai?
Nalini.
Nalini Mataji, you are from Chennai?
Yes, very much.
Yeah, I could.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I could make out you are from Chennai.
Yeah.
Okay, your pronunciations are much better, 100 times better than me. Thank you very much.
No, not at all. We cannot reach here.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
So this is a very powerful purport and powerful verse. I would like to repeat the verse again. Beyond this gross conception of form is another subtle conception of form which is without formal shape and is unseen, unheard, and unmanifest. The living being has his form beyond this subtlety, otherwise he could not have repeated births. Hare Krishna. So it is, you can easily see now that we have repeated birth 5,000 years ago was a verily direct experience. People realize that we have repeated birth. But if you ask anyone now, what is this repeated birth? So can you imagine that which was talked 5,000 years ago? And he's saying what he's saying, Sutta Goswami, to all these sages. He's saying, otherwise a soul could not have repeated birth. That means all of them, they were present there, they realize they know, they understand very much, I have repeated birth. "20 times. उसको नींद ऐसे आ रहा है." So this is amazing, isn't it? When I became Krishna conscious, and I could easily figure out, it didn't take me, within a day or two, after I met Krishna sir, I realized that I am here, and here I was an animal, I was a plant, I was an insect, I could see all these trillions of lifetimes, and I could see in the future also my bodies are ready based on my actions. Unless I surrender to Krishna, these infinite cycles are going to consume me. And these used to be my meditation day in, day out during my initial formative years in Krishna consciousness. Anybody who has a simplest form of spiritual experience, he or she should be able to realize, I have taken many births, and this is just another phase of my life. Just like in this very body, I have sucked my mother's breast milk, but I don't remember it. I have passed urine and stool on the body of my father, mother, and bed. I don't remember any one of them. That means during this lifetime sojourn, I have gone through many bodies and I have lost the experience of all those bodies. And with little sanity, I can say that after I finish this body, I'll take another body. This is a very beautiful, profound message that if we cannot understand, I have repeated birth, and I again and again tell that, somebody should figure out. In American society, there was a survey, and the survey said that 40% of Americans believe in reincarnation, and Americans, majority of them are Christians. Bible doesn't talk about reincarnation. Quran is silent about it. Only Bhagavad Gita speaks about reincarnation. But people, we have Ambarisha Prabhu, who is Alfred Ford, the Henry Ford's grandson. And in one of the interviews, he said that his father was inquisitive of reincarnation. His great-grandfather. He believed in reincarnation. So you have little sanity, you can easily realize that you have taken millions of births, nay, trillions of births, nay, infinite birth. And if you misuse this human life again, then another trillions of births will be waiting for us. Is it not very scary? Dear devotees, we are not really scary about it because we are not able to hear. Just like I was telling, that even if we describe the soul in so many ways, we will only extract that much according to the subtlety in which we are situated. To become a subtle person, a person is very deep. He lives very deep within. He is a subtle person. That's why Krishna is grave, Prashanta. He's like Pacific Ocean. Prashanta. So dear devotees, how do we enter into subtlety? I have seen in my family there are some, if they see a simple needle, they will dance. As if some ghost has come and is going to attack. It's just a needle. Needle. We have one Kerala bitter gourd plant in front. There are so many Keralas there. You can go and cut it and bring it. These plants are not crying. They are not dying. So because we do not really enter into subtlety of our life. We don't go deep through meditation. We don't chant Hare Krishna with sincerity. The subtlety level that we have gained within ourselves is very shallow. Extremely shallow. So raga, dvesa, moha, these are our eternal companion. We are concerned. We have one girl in Delhi. I will not tell her name. She is only after some position, some wealth. And in lip service, she would say, Prabhuji, I would like to serve you, I want to go to Jharkhand. But she has no concept of subtlety. She is in absolute shallowness. And hence, she is suffering. I feel pity about her. I cannot help her because she is stubborn not to enter into the subtlety. We are so subtle. I would like many Korusa kind of experience for many of you. Imagine that the cold winter, everything is open. There is no blanket. And still you have to manage some sleep and get up and take cold water bath and get ready for Mangalarati and Kirtan. Arey Baba, these sages who are hearing from Sutta Goswami, they have done all these things. The subtle level, see, we situate ourselves always in gross level. Money, 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 money. Sex, 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 sex. What is? All gross thing we want. Position, power. This is all. So gross. So gross. We need to be subtle. We need to realize ourselves. Once in Duisburg, Bhatu Krishna invited some of his friends and invited me to give a talk. And I started speaking early morning, and there was a fellow from ETH Zurich. He's an American, and I was explaining to him what is soul. So many angles. I gave the example of chariot. The soul is passenger, chariot is this gross body, the mind is the rein, intelligence is the driver, the 5 horses are senses. And then I told him that how the ideas are more primary than the form. The subtlety has the real form. If subtlety has no form, then the gross form will never come. Like the idea of car is first conceived within the Kal branch. His subtle idea has a form, and that form finally descended onto the car. And then Kal branch got the patent right over the car. Right? He is known as the first inventor of the Kal branch, German fellow. So I explained to him that how subtlety has the form and gross form is a later representation. Okay? And I explained to him also how the evolution is actually happening continuously in the subtle form. Evolution doesn't happen in gross form. So many ways I explained to him what is soul. I put all my energies to explain what is soul. And by the time of evening, almost 5 o'clock, this fellow could not understand what is soul. I told Bhatu Krishna, I think I went, because at lunchtime Bhatu Krishna cooked and fed lunch. Because I was so immersed in speaking about the soul. And I thought that this fellow will surely understand. Sometime he will say, oh, I understood. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I know. And finally, he has not understood anything about the soul. And at 5 o'clock, I told Bhatu Krishna, do Kirtan. And I said, I will cook. And I was really, those days, you just hear Hare Krishna and cook. And after cooking, I said, you eat. This is all spirituality you can have. Just enjoy this prasadam. And he really enjoyed prasadam, finished everything. See, my dear friends, if soul is so subtle, you cannot conceive how subtle is Krishna. Krishna is within the soul. Soul is so subtle, but Krishna is within that soul. And he is not within one soul. He is simultaneously in unlimited souls. He is so subtle. These are profound concepts. These are not, bhakti is not sentimental. Bhakti is highly scientific. But unfortunately, we are adamant, we are stubborn not to understand the subtle aspect of ourselves, our subtle form, our spiritual form that is Satchidananda. We are not interested in that. This is our biggest misery. So, thank you, dear devotees, for hearing Bhagavatam. I hope how we started that Virat form of Krishna is not very attractive to those who are devotees, but it is very attractive to those who are in mundane concept. Because Krishna is always transcendental. Conceiving Krishna in a gross form, I cannot even conceive this. I understand Krishna's subtlety in every part of creation, but the gross manifestation is not suddenly Krishna's body. But that is how the atheist, asuras, they get attracted to this form. Many say nature is God. Nature is God. Because they miss the subtlety. They don't have ability to understand subtlety. Okay? And to explain that, Sutta Goswami gave the example how we do not understand sky or air, but we say sky is cloudy, sky is blue color, or air is, there is fragrance, beautiful fragrance in the air. But this fragrance is carried by the air. You don't see the air. So, and then he is talking about the subtle form of the soul. It's a very beautiful scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness in the most aesthetic manner. We will talk about it more, but this is for now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I will take some few questions. If some of you are new, you can introduce. One or two people can introduce yourself if you are new for the first time today. Hare Krishna. Quick, we are getting late.
Vinay Chauhan ji is there and Krishna Priyaman.
So our
Krishna Prabhuji.
Vinay Chauhan.
Yes.
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am Vinay Chauhan and I live in California.
Wow! You are in California. What is the time there now?
It's 9:12 p.m.
So you have no issue hearing this lecture?
No, I have no issue. Yeah. So this is actually.
You look so brilliant. Great. Nice to see you.
Perfect time for me after lunch. After dinner.
Very good. Welcome to Krishna's family. Thank you very much. Did you go through these lectures today we discussed? What is that you got from this?
So this is my first test. I did the previous one. So I did the today one. Basically, I get the idea that first time I heard that the Virat form was not a real thing. I always thought that that's the real thing, but now I need to probably try to think more and try to see what I can understand more from this. And it's a lot of to think for me.
Yeah. Just think about it. You see your hand, you think this is your hand, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But you are very subtle.
Yeah.
This is just external. You change so many hands.
Yeah.
Okay, and many lifetimes. You have taken birth in many lifetimes. And different bodies you have already taken.
Yes.
So this is what is being brought out here. We have a subtle form, and that subtle form is beyond space and time. So whether it is Virat form or this bodily form, these are all manifestation of material space and material time. But the real you, real me, and the absolute truth, Krishna, we are very subtle. So that is the point. And try to meditate on this, that any gross form manifests from subtle form. Right? What do you do actually in California?
I am in a manufacturing company.
Okay, you are in a manufacturer. That's a very good thing.
Yeah,
So in a manufacturing company, you bring out various products, right?
Yes.
When you bring out the product, then Aam Janta appreciates. But before that product comes out, that product has been conceived in a very subtle form. Not the subtlety level of Atman or Paramatman, but material subtle form. In terms of ideas, concepts, it has been reconceived, redesigned. They are so subtle. That subtlety, ordinary people, those who will purchase your product, they will not understand it.
Yes.
Are you able to follow now?
Yes.
So this is what I am trying to tell. That you people are very intelligent. You can understand material gross and material subtle. So material subtle must have a form. That is why the gross subtle has a form. Gross has a form. Okay? Similarly,
Yes.
the soul has a subtle form. So you have a spiritual form. Alright?
Yes,
So how did you join our program? What motivated you?
I just talked to my mentor, basically.
Madhusudan Mukund?
Yes, Madhusudan Mukundasji, Prabhuji. So he just gave me that it's going to start in 20 minutes. So he gave me the link. So I joined this. But how I got to the course was, I was looking for a Gita course for a long time, but never found anything. And then one day while going to sleep, I just searched Google again, and this came up. I joined immediately in like 5 minutes. Obviously, my payment didn't go through because my credit card was US one. And then Madhusudan Mukundas Prabhuji immediately WhatsApped me, and he told me why it's not going through. And then I made the payment, and that's how I joined. But yeah.
So you have gone through how many lessons of Bhagavad Gita?
So I have done 6. I am doing 7th.
So
Ready to give the test for 7th chapter.
So you are pretty much getting educated in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
It is nice. It is. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you so much. Welcome to our family, Krishna's family.
Yeah. Thank you for so many people giving the opportunity to learn Gita.
Please, after you learn, you become also a mentor, and we would like more people to join this endeavor. So we need many educated people like you to understand Bhagavad Gita, to realize it, internalize it, okay, and practice and live the life the way Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
And then we start also becoming mentor for others as well. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, who?
Krishna Priya Mataji.
Krishna Priya Mataji, you would like to speak?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Actually, I was looking for some kind of course on Bhagavatam. So Madhusudan Prabhu called me, informing me about this going on. So I joined yesterday.
You joined yesterday?
There are hardly anything available on Bhagavatam online, Prabhu. I was not able to trace anything on Bhagavatam. On Bhagavad Gita, there are few courses, but nothing is on Bhagavatam. So, and I was finding it very difficult to understand anything. And even though I read, I forget. After some time, the next day, I don't know what I read. So I was finding it very confusing. So I was looking for something, and that day, 2 days back, I almost went for some which can help with the somehow by mercy of Prabhupada, Madhusudan Prabhupada informed me about this, and I felt that it is definitely a mercy of Prabhupada that he, because I was there and I found it. So I'm very happy to be here.
Where do you stay, Krishna Priya Mataji?
Prabhuji, I'm from Bangalore.
You are from Bangalore. So, so this is your first day in Bhagavatam class in our session? Is it your first class?
So yes, Prabhu. Today I heard the whole full day. I'm in full class.
Okay. So we are also planning to, just like we have done the course on Bhagavad Gita, we are planning to do a course on Srimad Bhagavatam as well. So the work is on, the background work, and soon. But you hear this, the discussion that we are having every day morning.
Right.
And let me tell you one secret. Secret of life is you hear again and again and again. And suddenly one day, you will see you are memorizing everything.
Prabhu, actually, long ago I started reading Bhagavatam and I gave up because I was not able to understand, and whatever.
Nay, you don't worry.
About it. 2 days back I started with 5th chapter, and when you were discussing the 3rd chapter, actually I'm able to recall a little bit here and there.
So just here.
Is it normal to forget?
Yeah, you will, because you see that we have heard so many nonsense, and they are deep rooted within our mind, intellect, in our senses. So hence, anything that is spoken from the spiritual world, it will take some time to be registered, because this is completely pure, whereas what we are carrying is matter, ignorance. So that is why we have to hear. I have been hearing now, this is my 32nd year. 32 years I am hearing. So this hearing is so important. Every day we have to hear. Without that, there is no other course. That's why Sravanam, then Kirtanam. We hear. And in the beginning we chant. And once we have heard sufficiently, then also we will be able to speak very nicely about Krishna to others. There is no doubt about it. So, thank you very much. I'll see you again tomorrow. Hare Krishna. No, it's late now. Many have questions, so let's see what question we have.
Yesterday, Radha's question.
Hare Krishna, sir, what is the meaning of my relationship with Krishna? At my stage of Krishna, is it relations with the teacher, or relationship with holy name, or something else? Oh, what is the meaning of my? Yes, my meaning of a relationship with Krishna, which I don't know. I have a relationship with Krishna. So that's a good question. I have a relationship with Krishna in either Dasya Rasa, Santa Rasa, Sakhya Rasa, Vatsala Rasa, or Sringara Rasa. I have a relationship with Krishna, but I don't know this. So I don't have to speculate about it. So how do I understand my relationship with Krishna? You are right. We have to develop a strong relationship with the teacher. Plus, we have to make holy name, as you have said, as our eternal ornament. we always seek shelter of the holy name. Seek shelter of the holy name, make bondage with the teacher very strong, and at some point of time, the holy name would reveal to you. Because our acharyas, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has devoured us. Suppose even if a teacher is aware of the student's relationship with Krishna, he is not going to tell it. So, because it has generated or degenerated, I would say, it has degenerated into Sahajiyajim. Yes, a pure devotee of Krishna can reveal your relationship with Krishna. But then, that process our acharyas have not recommended for us. So we don't do that. So best is that we take shelter of the holy name. Holy name will reveal our relationship with Krishna. And that happens when we have a strong bondage, strong relations with the teacher. Jivanas, it is explained that those who cannot think beyond space and time, for them universal form is given. When Arjuna saw universal form on the battlefield, is this universal form different? That is being discussed here. No, same universal form. Next, Ritu Bhandariji. Prabhuji, as the soul is experiencer in the body, so does it also feel pain, pleasure like some of the terms people use, such as tortured soul, hurting one's soul? Wrong. You cannot hurt this soul. So hurt this soul the way you are thinking. You cannot kill a soul. You cannot torture a soul. But soul is being tortured not because of material suffering or material success. Soul is being tortured because it is in ignorance. Soul is not in bliss. Soul should be naturally in bliss. And that is torture. The suffering of the soul you cannot experience. Suppose I am a self-realized soul. I can feel your suffering, but you cannot feel your suffering. Because I can see how your soul is shrouded in ignorance. And particularly as a teacher, I have some ability to see the ignorance in which my students are dwelling. That much I can tell with full confidence over my 32 years of journey. So a spiritual master feels the suffering of the conditioned soul. But soul as such cannot suffer, cannot have material suffering. Riddhi, I am unable to sustain deep faith. My family, friends, everyone make fun of me when I talk about Krishna. Go to the temple, want to serve. They see I am unsuccessful. Say, you are weak, that's why you go to the temple to beg. But I have been praying since a child. I used to have good habit, but over time, my habits become bad. I chant, try to change, but keep falling down. What should I do to change myself in a way that I never ever forget Lord Rama, not want anything? I really love the form of Lord Rama. So, don't worry about all your so-called near and dear ones who are making fun of you. The so-called material success will certainly one day ditch them. The so-called arrogance of material success will not last for a long time. You may be very highly successful. One may be very highly successful. I tell so many times. And suddenly you lose your job. You cannot say that time, oh, I was so successful. I was so, I graduate from this and that. We have talked about one IITian from IIT Delhi went to, I am in Ahmedabad, did his MBA and then went to America, had a big job. And finally 2008 recession, he lost his job. And then he could never recover from his original position. He has a big bungalow and blah, 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 blah. And then he and his whole family committed suicide, mass suicide. So we are not interested in this gories. We don't say glories, but gories. Gories means the ghastly nature of this material world. This material world may look at some point of time very nice, but at some other time, like somebody is very nicely married and suddenly there is a divorce. Your life becomes hell. Hell. You constantly think about the same thing. You brood over it. It takes a lot of effort to become normal. This is the life, materialistic life. So, don't worry, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Look up to those who are practicing spiritual life, how they have conducted. It is not that in 32 years of life I have not gone through difficulties, this or that. We have gone through many difficulties, many challenges. But those challenges, those difficulties never ever broke our faith or broke our determination to continue Krishna conscious life. So chant Hare Krishna. I can guarantee you, you will be successful. This so-called material education, material success are simply illusion, ignorance. So they have no value. Don't worry about it. Pure Segal, when it is said that we can see Lord as He is all spiritual, what do we see when we appreciate the Archa Vigraha we sing? Is it the soul sing, or if so, how do we reconcile the notion of soul sleeping? When we see the deity, we don't see the deity. Deity sees us. We are seeking the grace of Krishna. In the temple, we do Archa Vigraha such that we can get grace. The moment you think you are able to see Krishna, you are a stupid idiot, must be. I have never seen Krishna. Seeing Krishna means, like yesterday we read about Lakshmi Priya, how she felt tremendous separation from Krishna. Once I have seen Krishna means I can never forget it. I want to see it again and again and again. I will feel the separation again and again and again. So we don't see Krishna in the deity form. Deity sees us. So, by the grace of deity, by the grace of Vaishnavas, by the grace of teacher, by the grace of sadhus, we can hope one day the soul will wake up. It is sleeping. Ritu, we don't understand the subtlety of the soul because our consciousness is so materially contaminated. You are exactly right. My mind is filled with lust, greed, anger, pride, envy, and illusion or ignorance. And hence, I am not able to understand the subtlety of soul. But I have explained. You just go through the Bhagavad Gita. I have explained this in Bhagavad Gita lecture a lot. Here, we have to hear again and again and again. So, thank you very much now. I am very thankful. There are many wonderful questions. We can go on, but we have a schedule. I have, my classes to do, lectures to record, and so forth. So, dear devotees, thank you very much, and forgive me if I have not taken somebody's question today, but that question will be taken again, either today evening or tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.